Hello, and thank you for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
In a rare and interesting manner, the Israeli Defense Forces released to Twitter on Tuesday a map of southern Lebanon which points out all the known military infrastructure belonging to Hezbollah. Hezbollah is an Iranian-backed terror organization, and the map, showing just the section of Lebanon along the northern Israeli and western Syrian borders, is meant to display Israeli intelligence gathering capabilities, as well as make the case for possible future strikes. The map, which was declassified for the above reasons, illustrates that while Hezbollah has indeed been embroiled in the Syrian civil war, they haven't forgotten about future conflicts with Israel. Dotted across the image are 85 civilian villages, heavily mixed between weapons warehouses, infantry positions, underground infrastructures, rocket launchers, anti-tank positions, and command posts. The deliberate mixing of military installations with the civilian population is what drove the IDF caption below the tweet, simply reading, "This is a war crime." To prevent continued arms stockpiling in the region, Israel has admitted to dozens of strikes on weapons and other military convoys en route to the terror group by way of Syria. One such strike was just last week, and in April, the Israeli Prime Minister promised to continue targeting the smuggling of game-changing weaponry. The municipality of Ramallah, the administrative capital of the Palestinian Authority, will name a street after the late Cuban dictator Fidel Castro as a gesture of gratitude. The dedication was approved by the Ramallah Central Council in recognition of Castro's support for the Palestinian people and former leader Yasser Arafat. The Cuban dictator died on November 25th in Havana at age 90. The Fatah party of PA President Mahmoud Abbas issued a statement claiming Castro was a world leader and great friend of the Palestinian people. Castro was a staunch critic of Israel and did not hold back from criticizing the Jewish state and its treatment of the Palestinians. Israel and Cuba originally had diplomatic relations, but in 1973, Castro suddenly announced a break in relations and declared Cuba's recognition of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, or PLO, instead. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Microsoft are all now teaming up to combat terrorist content on their services. The tech giants have agreed to share with one another identifying digital information of violent terror content that they find on their platforms. To do that, they'll create a shared database with the unique digital fingerprints of terrorist images and videos called hashes that violate their content policies. By having access to this group database, the companies believe that they can more efficiently flag and eliminate offending content. The companies will continue to make their own individual decisions on removing content or banning users, however. Social media companies have long faced the challenge of keeping terrorist content off their networks, but until now have mostly relied on their users to report it. The new concerted effort should make it easier for the companies to crack down on pro-terrorist messages, which have been on the rise over the last few years. Earlier this week, in a vote of 59 to 49, the Israeli Knesset passed the first reading of the settlement bill, which would retroactively grant legal status to settlements and other Israeli outposts in the West Bank. Pushing back against the proposal is both the Palestinian Authority, the United Nations, and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry on behalf of Washington. Speaking at the Sabin Forum earlier this week in Washington, D.C., Kerry harshly criticized the legislation, accusing Israel and specifically Prime Minister Netanyahu of not taking the required risks to reach a two-state solution, and called the settlements an obstacle to peace. The Palestinian Authority called on the U.S. and then the UN to go even further, asking Washington to officially recognize a Palestinian state, as 137 other countries already have. The bill, which must pass 2 more Knesset votes before becoming law, has already been edited to remove the clause that would save the Amona settlement, which is slated for demolition on December 25th. Prime Minister Netanyahu pushed back against the international criticisms and rejected claims that the settlements were the obstacle to peace, instead claiming that both the continued Palestinian refusal to recognize Israel in any form, as well as rejecting the hundreds of opportunities to negotiate, is the true reason peace has never been realized.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.